Hey people, Intrepid 3v3 Faction War. This is Boranis Refinery and Ordo Malleus versus Orcs. For the blue Ordo Malleus team, the Tenso is an Eversor assassin, a risk-reward melee brawler that explodes on death, alongside Kasuga 7 as a brother captain, a durable hero walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful disruption and support, fighting in melee. And rounding off this team is Booker as a Daemonhunter, a melee spellcaster with strong support and control, begins with an energy regeneration aura. Red Orcs, Katla with a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Freebooters DLC, and two commandos, Stigma, and this is Draktan. These guys are infiltrating heroes that shoot you, stab you, and blow you up. Orky style, begin with a twin link shooter. Commando of Stigma heading towards the mid. This is a snowy, wintry reskin of Calderis Refinery, for those that don't know. Been a while since I've seen it on the channel. A lot of people don't like the snow maps in general because they're bright. Never had that problem myself. I think those people need to maybe adjust the brightness on their monitors or something. Daemonhunter having to flee from angry orcs. Sluggers trying to finish them off in retreat, but cannot. Stigma's got double sluggers, by the way. Draktan dropping those first sluggers, replaces them now. They're on the west side. Not sure what happened. I guess they got caught with some special attacks or something. The strat squad did drop a model, so it looks like they all got into a brawl towards the east side. Orcs pushing through onto the power. Bunch of stormtroopers trying to stem the tide. Sluggers with burners. Those are Katlas. Stigmas do not have burners, so I'm not sure. Oh, looters. I was going to say not sure where their power's gone. Looters are on the way. Might get a full bash here. They will get a full bash. I don't know if this power was full, but they've refilled it with gens here. Couple sluggers in on the strike squad. No burners, as we saw. Some good specials from the strike squad. Daemonhunter in there helping out, and the sluggers must flee. Brother captain sees off the shooter boys. That was a good push from the Orcs. Got on the power, messed it up. They are going to get counter pushed here, but that's just the way of things. The center is blue for the Ordo Malleus. Eversor Assassin's gone down on the west side. Gotta keep my eyes on this area. Things are dying. Inquisitorial operatives up for the Tenso with shotguns and a bunch of tricks. They're getting their fallback plan here. Infiltrating to get away. Stormtroopers taking a bunch of damage. They have their Sergeant gives them that nice no fuse grenade. These guys looking for an incendiary grenade, I think. A little bit off, but a good hit nonetheless on those shooter boys, and they instantly get the hell out of there. Gonna need some Nob leaders, I guess, on those fellas to spot the sneaky operatives. Brother captain gets a reviving, gets level 2 off it. Purgation on the way for Kasuga 7. He had triple stormtroopers up. Meanwhile, towards the northeast, Warboss charging through with angry bits. Now I'm angry. There's the warp rift from the Daemonhunter, slowing down those sluggers and double shooter boys who have Nob leaders now, these fellas. Stormtroopers flee the angry Warboss. Can he get some more XP? Yes, gets that fella pretty good. Tosses him aside. Triple cap early for the Ordo Malleus. Purgation now up with those incinerator flamers. Trying to suppress those shooter boys. They don't get suppressed, they just back off. There's the Purge by Flame, which just slows things down. And that must have been Psychic Lash. Yep, Psychic Lash there. .500 to 351. Sluggers piling in on the brother captain. He can be vulnerable to this. Had some strat squad helping him out. Doesn't have a way to clear nearby units like the Chaos Lord and the Warboss does. So he can be vulnerable early on to a melee mob before he gets his fancy gear to deal with it. Eversor Assassin has the Sin Skin Body Glove. Health regen, and it makes his Psychon better. Costs him 50 health rather than 100, and lasts a little bit longer. In on the looters. Ties them up so they can't fire that dangerous death gun. And that was Psychic Burst from the strike squad. Need to run, I think, fellas. Shooter Boy is able to suppress the Eversor assassin. Kommando did not try a stun bomb. Maybe they don't have the energy for it right now. Looters did, in fact, run in the end. But they're keeping the pressure up, the Tenso. Good special from the strike squad. Couldn't quite back off far enough. And Eversor cleaving through things there. Almost level 3, this fella. Sluggers for Draktan, the ones they replaced with, have got their burners up, and the strike squad are quite low there. That could be dicey. They get one of them. Get two of them. Last one gets away. Incendiary thrown in there by the operatives, as you saw. Sluggers, are they going to wipe? No, I think they're okay. That fella's far enough away, and the triple shot came in from the Kommando. Draktan now with the assassin's knife. Ready to assassinate things. It's like a big green splash of colour when you hit stuff with this knife. It doesn't do any damage over time, poisony things though. It does have that awesome assassinate ability though. With a big burst of damage. You have some tier 2s. Looks like Katla is going to be the last to go. They have a Pain Boy up that they spent a bunch of power on, I suppose. And they did get double big shooters and burners and those angry bits. Speaking of burners, sluggers are getting low. Down to a single model. Daemonhunter tries to finish them. Daemonhunter might go down on that chase and does. And the sluggers made it out. Double cap for the red team. Orcs in the ascendancy, about to switch things around as they hit tier 2, maybe get some weird boys up. Stormtroopers trying to defend the power. Sluggers just bashing it down. They don't have burners still for Stigma. They got double looters up and into a weird boy now. That could be super effective against a blob of Stormtroopers and the Purgation, which are tending to blob up a bit here, especially if they catch the Brother Captain in it. By it, I mean the Warp Vomit, of course. A little mini charge there from the Warboss. He wasn't that angry, I suppose. And then runs away. Center is red for the Orcs. Both teams have their naturals though. Strat Squad kind of blundering into an engagement on the east side. Pain Boy was there. Sluggers were coming in and double upgraded shooter boys. They don't have the big shooters, but they got their Nob leaders. There's that Pain Boy heal, that Git Source that heals over time Orc units. Can the Daemonhunter get a revive here? Brother Captain might be able to barge his way in and get it done. Their Tenso is some capping on the west side. Stormtroopers looking for a grenade maybe? Nope, they just run. Got looters up here for Draktan. Lots of looters up, I guess. Weird Boy is on the field. Where is he though? There he is. East side, Purgation flee, Strat Squad. Again, might be blundering into a fight they can't deal with. Pain Boy and upgraded Sluggers. Sluggers got wrecked though. They go down. Wow. Justicar makes a massive difference to that fight, I suppose. When the Sluggers don't have their Nob leader. Justicar wrecked some faces there. They did have Stormtrooper support as well. But I thought they were going to struggle with the Pain Boy there. I'm not sure why. I guess the heal must have been on cooldown or something. The Git Source. It went down really fast. Sluggers here with a Nob leader for Stigma. In fact, both of them have it. Only one have the burners though. Down goes the Brother Captain. They've been really aggressive on this power. Sanctuary thrown up by the Terminator Librarian. Sluggers and other Orc units won't be able to move into this dome of psychic power, I guess it is. These guys soaking up huge amounts of damage but having to retreat, and the other Sluggers on the node trying to get it done, popping Swamp them, and they do get it done. Knocked back by a grenade, I guess. Didn't actually see it thrown in, but they certainly got knocked back by something. 3-4-1 to 3-5-1. Weird Boy still in play for Stigma, and a Death Dread for Draktan. There it is. Getting the burners and bits. Might be able to push all the way through onto this power, although the Tenso with a Plasma Cannon Grey Knight Dreadnought gets the Twin Linked Heavy Bolter and a Plasma Cannon. which is a very fun loadout. Operatives having a look at the power. I think this is the first time we've got onto this. In fact, I don't remember them getting onto this power either, although it's missing a generator, so they must have got there. Gonna get at least a couple of gens, I think. Do have that assassinate commando though, ready to delete one of those models. And here comes a Death Dread. Going after the infantry, or is he just going to tie up the Dreadnought? Looks like it's going after the Dreadnought. Eviscerator axe in for the Eversor assassin. Lots of stabs. Yeah, that's going to be rough for that guy. Especially if the commando has enough energy to do triple shot and the assassinate. And then sluggers piling in while he's stunned. Not to mention a Death Dread. That could be really nasty. Grey Knight Dreadnought backing off from the Death Dread. Maybe the sluggers could get through and burn down the gens. Looks like the Death Dread is going for it. Can they get a good plasma cannon shot here? Seems to be struggling to find a firing solution. Beamy looters are here. Powerful anti-vehicle weapon. Should get at least one shot in here, I think. Sluggers go in to tie it up. Eversor there to counter-initiate. And some repairs thrown in from the stormtroopers. Sluggers dealt with for now. Eversor's going to need to run soon though. Oh, maybe not. Bio Meltdown is up. Didn't do a huge amount, but the plasma cannon just wiped some shooter boys, I think. Bio Meltdown is a global ability of the Eversor. Does damage around him to all units, including friendly ones. And then he explodes for big damage if he dies. Damages himself as well in the process, so he usually does die. Like a suicide run, I guess. And he did set up some kills there. Another beamy looter. And Commando got the cat. Ouch. 230 to 351. What's going on other side of the map here? Upgraded strike squad for Booker. Getting suppressed, but they're a menace to those shooter boys for sure. Booker has a Vindicator assassin. Storm boys. Oh, they're getting some surgery from the Pain Boy. Probably the +1 speed. Yeah, looks like it. I don't think they got more health. Storm boys with their Nob leader. Bad news for the Stormtroopers popping their fanaticism there for a second before fleeing. Vindicator needs to be very careful. They could jump him and delete him pretty quickly. Maybe get extended operations on that guy. Other captain revives the Eversor and levels to 3. Eversor is level 4. Weird boy flees. Death Dread is still around. Now getting some sluggers repair. There's that weird boy zap, which will jump between units. It's going to jump to the Eversor now. Yep. It can't jump to the same unit twice though. 145 to 351. Big fat VP lead for the Orcs, and they're starting to hit their tier 3s. Booker is in tier 3. Saving for a Land Raider maybe? Storm boys are a menace. That's the Force Rod, I think. Nope. Yes, it is for the Daemonhunter. With the Retribution. Could hit those double shooters and mean that they can't use their aiming what's that for a while, since they'll be silenced. The Warboss though with a power claw for Katla, wrecking some strike squad. They had some good fights against those sluggers, as we saw. Sluggers that are now gone for Katla. I don't know they'll do as well against Storm boys though. Storm boys have all power weapons. The Nob leader has a heavy melee weapon, so I guess they're going to get wrecked by it. Storm boys. It might depend on how well they can hit the banishment though. There's the Retribution. And we get the Nemesis warding staff for the brother captain. Has not put put mind blades on himself. Doesn't have the energy to cast ward though. And that seemed to be, I think he just used Sanctify on himself, or maybe one of the other players did, but he didn't use it to cast anything, I don't think. 97 to 351. Draktan saying they got doubled. Kommando with a special shooter level 4 for Stigma backs off. Ordo Malleus could sweep that power and then rotate mid. Meanwhile, it's Strike Squad versus Sluggers with a Warp Vomit thrown in. Not a good fight, fellas, for you. Somehow. Wow, they're level 4. I didn't drop a model there. Eversor's helping now. Was Killzone in there? Maybe Killzone was in there. I didn't spot it. Killzone is thanks to this axe. Cyclone popped. Two-shotting those looter models. And he attacks really fast with the axe. 93 to 351. Stormtroopers on the central VP now. Got lots of VPs to make up. Grey Knight Terminators for Booker. And tier 3 for Kasuga. No tier 3 stuff yet for the Orcs. Lots of red for Stigma. They could drop a nuke, so could Draktan. In fact, they all three of them could once Katla gets tier 3 rolling. Which they might do. Pinned back on this east side though. Who's this down? Oh, that's the Warboss. Went Power Claw in, I suppose. Got some keyboard thing, says Katla. Alrighty then. They've gone tier 3 Nob Squad on the way for Draktan. Kasuga wondering how they're winning. I mean, they were pinned back, but been a few rough engagements for the Orcs, it seems, especially Katla and Draktan getting some 2v1s on them. Stigma's looking pretty solid, but needs to get tier 3 stuff rolling. We get a Nob Squad pretty soon, in about 30 seconds or so. Vindicator hit level 2. Grey Knight Terminator is a big threat to Katla's army. Warboss could maybe put Hard Boys on himself and pop Angry, Now I'm Angry, and tank him a bit, but there's nothing really else to put damage on them. These guys have splash damage, power melee halberds, and Shooter Boys can't hang in there. The Daemonhunter, with Armor of Damnation now, gives him a nifty hood and has the Blessed Icon. I think this tooltip is weird, because I always thought that meant they get tons of speed but deal less damage. I think it reduces the damage they take by 40%, which makes it incredible. I think that's what it does. Painboy goes down in base. These guys won't get suppressed by those base turrets, of course. 93 to 190. Ordo Malleus are going to sweep this, I think. Nob Squad against the Eversor Assassin. There's Bio Meltdown. I don't think I've spotted Killzone once. Why is it not getting used? Maybe I just haven't spotted it. That was a lot of damage, actually. Nob Squad sent packing and Sluggers sent packing. Maybe Killzone wasn't there and I just couldn't see it on the ground. It's all snowy and white. Can they do something about this Dreadnought? It's kind of been a menace. Beamy Looters are getting shots. Sluggers going in. This conversion beam is not super helpful here. Kommando Nob still ties them up. Could have just shot them, I think. With a high explosive shell or something. And here's a Commando Squad with a Nob Leader. Are you getting a rocket launcher by any chance? Nope. Neither is Draktan. And there's a Rocks on the retreat path. Big hit on the Ordo Malleus infantry that was there too. And they do get the Dreadnought. Should have kept it moving, I suppose, down into this little crevice here. 90 to 110. There's that Sanctuary. So annoying to fight around this, because if you get caught by it, it can send models from the unit in different directions and they can't get back into coherency and move around properly, kind of thing. Purgation with Ward up on them. Kommando throws a stun bomb and runs. Oh, Orcs back into it. Here's me thinking that Ordo Malleus was going to sweep the game. But Orcs are back with a double cap. And Draktan still has those knobs. And he can still drop a nuke from Stigma. Katla seems to be in a bit of trouble, though they went tier 3. Got flash kits, I suppose. Don't have a huge amount of resources to build on it. But it's a very dangerous Warboss with spiky armor and power claw and angry bits. Has to run from the Granite Terminators and goes down just as I said they were dangerous. They go down. Double cap now for Ordo Malleus again. And there's a Land Raider Crusader. Nob squad chasing down Purgation alongside Sluggers. Can they get the Terminator Librarian down? Maybe. Nope, there's Sanctuary. Sanctuary and run. There's another Rocks. Crusader just needs to keep driving forward and it will dodge most of it. Somehow these Stormtroopers survived in here and they're reinforcing off the Land Raider. Commandos are getting some shots in. Oh, an Orbital in the back lines. Weird Boy barely survives. The Beamy was getting some shots as well. They do some decent damage to it. 58 to 52. And there it is. The Orcs have conceded, I believe. Ordo Malleus take it. It was a frantic game. Got very low on VPs. Level 6 Eversor Assassin did have the Onslaught Injectors. We had a level 7 Brother Captain. Level 4 Daemonhunter with his fancy hood. Level 4 Warboss and down. And the Commandos level 6 with Special Shooter. And that Melee Commando level 4 in the mid. But there you have it, guys. It was an awesome back and forth. Some big turns. But the Ordo Malleus take it. Thank you for watching, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part in the faction war. The Tenso for running the lobby. And I'll see you next time.